Joe Santos, if that's his real name. Yeah, he was the politician who served in New York's 3rd Congressional District before he was unceremoniously booted back in December. Well, he has pleaded guilty in federal court on Monday, August the 18th, 2024, to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, amongst other charges. Now, his decision will allow him to avoid a costly trial that was scheduled for next month, and it ensures that he will face at least 2 years in the beam. Now, this plea deal offers a quarter to the tale of a political underdog who catapulted to Congress less than 2 years ago, and then the house of cards came crashing down as his seemingly endless series of lies and deceit came to light. Now, he repeatedly insisted that he would defend his innocence in court vigorously, only to reverse course as the opportunity approached. Now, this version of George Santos, if that's his real name, appeared in court bearing little resemblance to the shameless provocateur whose antics once grabbed headlines. His bravado, albeit false, was replaced by an ill-fitting jacket and words of contrition for several scams, including money laundering, making false statements to Congress, fraudulently claiming unemployment benefits, amongst others. Now, speaking to reporters outside the courthouse, Mr. Santos was more voluble, his voice thick with emotion. He said that his plea was an effort to make amends for the misrepresentations to supporters and the government. Now, his sentencing is scheduled for February 7th, meaning he will not have to report to jail for at least 6 months. Now, guidelines call for him to serve between 6 and 8 years of prison, though the judge could decide to make the sentence more lenient. Now, he's also agreed to pay $373,749.97 of restitution to a variety of entities, including donors whose credit cards he used without authorization and state unemployment funds he fraudulently received benefits from. He will also be required to forfeit another $205,002.97 prior to sentencing. And he will need to come up with the money for his final plea deal to go through. And if he doesn't go through with that, somebody's going to be kicking down his door, waving the 4-4, taking his properties. Now, prosecutors have been preparing to call as many as 40 witnesses, including his donors, co-workers, relatives, and his co-conspirator, Nancy Marks. Now, Nancy Marks, she was helping him get that money through fraudulent means. She pleaded guilty, and her sentencing is in October. She faces up to 4 years in prison for her role in the helping George Santos, if that's his real name, cook the books. Now, he burst onto the national political scene in 2022, where he flipped New York's 3rd Congressional District and helped his party win control of the House. At the time, he was heralded as a new kind of Republican, young, Latino, low sugary. He was the proud inherit of former President Trump, who embraces the attention-grabbing style of politics and widely debunked claims of election interference. But even before he was sworn in, lies about him began to be exposed. A bombshell New York Times report in 2022 in December reported that much of his biography and aspects of the campaign's finances appeared to have been made up. Additional reporting from the Times and other news organizations revealed a bizarre array of bullshit, from inane claims of playing volleyball in college to fundamental deceptions about his education, resume, and cultural heritage. Now, last year, he was charged with 23 counts, felony counts at that, for a number of schemes, including stealing money from donors, lying to the government. He originally pleaded not guilty to these charges, but despite the legal headwinds, he remained in Congress until December last year when a report from the Bipartisan House Ethics Committee revealed that he had not only defrauded donors, but he used ill-gotten gains to buy designer goods and Botox. Now, Republicans joined Democrats in unison to expel him from Congress in December, making him one of only 6 congressmen in the nation's history to get the boot. More than 2/3 of his colleagues in the House voted in favor of expulsion, including more than 100 Republicans. Now, for a while, he remained defiant and seemed to embrace his engendered fall from grace. And he threatened the retribution on Republican lawmakers who turned on him and began selling short, personalized video messages on the app Cameo, earning hundreds of thousands of dollars. He also began filming a documentary. And all the meanwhile, he was dismissing these charges as some kind of witch hunt, things that he was echoing from another criminal that's in the Republican Party who is vying to become president for the second time. Oh, Colt 45, Donald Trump. Now, prosecutors pinned this walking embodiment of a drag queen turned politician campaign as so desperate that it turned to lying, cheating, stealing, like Eddie Guerrero back in the day in WWE. I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal to finance his operations. But they also asserted a pattern of self-dealing, which saw Mr. Santos repeatedly using his campaign account as a personal piggy bank. That is a big-time no-no. That is a felony. You cannot use campaign finance funds as your own piggy bank. And we see a lot of times these politicians go in there, they take this campaign finance money, they're out here getting out of debt, paying back child support, buying homes, buying cars, blowing it on hoes, drugs, you name it, they've done it. There's a grimy game played by slimy individuals. Now, he admitted to all the conduct that he had once denied from users one donor's credit card information to steal 11 grand for his personal use, to persuading other donors to contribute to what he said was a super PAC supporting his campaign. He also admitted to falsifying campaign finance records to include a $500,000 loan to his campaign that never existed in order to qualify for financial and operational support from the National Republican Party. Mr. Santos also admitted to committing unemployment fraud during the coronavirus pandemic and lying on House financial disclosure documents to inflate his wealth. Under the terms of the plea deal, he is required to forfeit over 200 grand that he obtained legally, money that must be repaid 30 days prior to sentencing, or else the feds are going to be kicking down the door, waving the full. All you heard was Papa Doe hit me no more. Now, his attorney saying that might not be possible, saying that he doesn't have any money. Well, he better find a way to get that money, because the fall from grace of George Anthony DeVolter Santos, if that's his real name, is complete. So you got to go to jail, bro. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Go straight to jail. Now, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share these videos on your social media platforms. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!